Yeah, so tell me about Peyakwac in Solitude. You spent 2 weeks in Wanuskewin, right in the building proper. Tell me about that, where it came from, and
I think it's really a reclaiming of the word quarantine because it has such a negative energy and a connotation to it, especially this year. And the first time we went into lockdown back in March and April, I was excited at first to kind of go into a little bit of a lockdown and head even deeper into a world of introversion. But what I found was when I wasn't able to share the art that I was creating, that's when I realized as artists, this is what we do. We create art so that we can share it. We express who we are. We want to entertain, educate, and empower people. So for me, quarantine was definitely something I wanted to reclaim this year. I just didn't know that I wanted to until I did the project. And it was a 14-day quarantine within a quarantine. And so I was living in Wanuskewin for 14 days. Yeah.
so tell me a bit about that. I talked to you on your very first day. You had spent the first night there and the lights were going on when you were trying to sleep and that kind of thing. So what kind of challenges did you have, and how did you overcome them?
Well, I worked with Wanuskewin prior to the residency. We talked about some things. We asked some questions. We did a virtual visit of the space. We didn't realize that a gallery space is not conducive to a sleeping quarters. So with the motion sensors in the room, the lights would be going off if I would shuffle in bed at 3 in the morning and I would go, what's going on? So that was part of it. Obviously, there was no refrigerator. There was nothing to cook with. So I bought some food with me and I just stashed it in the staff room. They had a fridge there and they had a microwave, so I was able to utilize that. And then I just went to the restaurant, and that was a bonus.
Yeah, they have good food there. Chef Jenny's been a real leader there. So tell me what you learned about yourself during this quarantine, and what others learned, and some of the interactions and some of the activities that you took part in.
I think what I made myself was a target for my friends to kind of bully me. And I was called everything like night at the museum guy. I was referred to as the weirdo in the gallery. So that was a little bit fun. It was fun to just interact with my friends about the quarantine in that manner. What did I learn? Somebody asked me, as a joke, we always ask each other, what does Wanuskewin mean to you? Right? And I said, you know what? It's only day 7. Can you give me 14 days, please? I'm only halfway through this. Wait till I'm done. And then I did an interview with another media outlet. And what I realized is that I actually was quarantining in 2 different spaces. Here at home, in my apartment. I live in the Pleasant Hill neighborhood, so it comes with certain expectations. Things happen in this neighborhood. And then I was quarantined at Wanuskewin. And one of the interesting things was people were asking me, are you scared? Are you nervous at all being at Wanuskewin, especially at night in that big space with 6,000 years of culture, language, and history? And I said, well, who's to say my home right now, my apartment, is not the space of 10,000 years of ceremony, culture, language, and history? Who's to say? We don't know. And what I realized at Wanuskewin was the energies, there are energies there at night and in the middle of the night. There's more than just us. There's another world there at night. And it was very safe. It was very assuring. It was very welcoming. At night I would hear footsteps right above where I was sleeping. And I knew nobody was walking up there. But at times it just felt like maybe one of the fire keepers or the security guards at night when the camp was sleeping was just there, standing over me and watching over me. And I thought, wow, that's a really nice thought. There's the other story of a lady, a jingle dress dancer, who walks throughout the building. I heard her once in the middle of the night walking, somebody walking with the bells, the jingles. I heard that. And I heard a drum. Every night there was a drum. There's no basement at Wanuskewin, but it sounded like somebody was in the basement banging a big loud drum. Boom. I'd hear that once in a while and I would go, wow, this is actually really nice. This is really calming and peaceful for me.
That's beautiful.
Mm.
That's beautiful, Curtis. Thank you. Any closing thoughts about the whole thing, the quarantine within the quarantine?
It's interesting how in quarantine we get stuck in certain aspects of who we are. Mine was mostly my intellectual. I was stuck in my brain, a lot of brooding, a lot of reflection, a lot of contemplation, and a lot of just trying to rejuvenate myself intellectually in new and meaningful ways. And so what I realized here in Saskatoon at my apartment, I actually don't feel as comfortable because of the stigmas associated with the neighborhood I live in, but also the things that I see. Sometimes I do hear violence at night. I hear the sirens. I hear people walking right by my window. It was quite the opposite experience at Wanuskewin. So if somebody were to ask me today what it does mean to me, I would say, yeah, there's definitely a calming energy and an assuring energy at Wanuskewin that I don't even feel in my own home.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for your time. This was awesome.
Thank you very much. And I'm very proud of the arts projects that I was able to complete. I didn't complete everything, but I completed about 90% of my arts projects. So I'm very proud. And now I have seeds planted for more work to do here within my own quarantine at home.
Yeah, that's right. You were doing painting, writing, and interviewing. What else?
I worked on 2 new scripts. So I drafted, I went into third drafts of 2 new scripts, which will be coming out in 2021. And I was digitizing my vinyl collection. So I was learning how to work with the technology as an artist who has no experience with computers, technology, interfacing, digitization. So I thought that was a very important skill I came out of the quarantine with.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing this experience with us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.